Hello students, today we are going to see this topic iteration statement. Okay, so in the previous class we have seen if else statement, nested if else ladder, okay, and switch state. So these are all the topics that was covered in the previous class. So in this class we are going to see this iterate iteration statement. So an iteration or looping statement. So this iteration statement is also known as looping statement. Is a sequence of one or more statements that are repeatedly executed until a condition is satisfied. So a particular group of statement will be executed again and again till the condition is satisfied. So condition means it is a statement that will return true or false. Okay, so this true or false statement should return false until then. uh, the group of statement will be executed again and again. Okay, so these statements are also called as control flow statements. It is used to reduce the length of the code, to reduce time to execute program, and takes less memory. So if you are using this iteration statement, you can see that it will take very less lines of codes and less memory space to execute. Okay, so in C++, it supports three iteration statement: for loop, while loop, and do while loop. So all looping statement repeats a set of statements as long as specified condition is remain true. So if the condition is true, then the loop is executed. If the condition is false, then the loop is not executed. Okay, so the specific condition is referred as loop control. For all three looping statement, the true condition is any non-zero value, and a zero value shows a false condition. Okay, so in this all the three looping statement, there is a common thing which is known as loop control, which is a test condition. Okay, if the condition is true, then this condition will have the result as any non-zero value. If the condition is false, then it is zero. Okay, so we'll move on to the next part here, parts of looping statement. Okay, so commonly in the all the above three looping statement, like for, while, and do while, you can find all the four parts here. Okay, initialization expression, test expression, update expression, the body of the loop. Okay, so these are all the parts that we can see in uh, all the all the looping statement. Okay, so next, first one is initial expression. So the control variable, so it may be one or more variables. The control variables must be initialized before the control enters into loop. The initialization of the control variable takes place under the initialization expression. The initialization expression is executed only once in the beginning of the loop. So this is initialization expression is the starting value. If you provide any starting value to the loop, so that will be executed only once. So this must be given before the loop has started. Okay, here you can see that this is the syntax of it. Syntax of the for loop, will come back to this in a few moments later. Okay, so test expression. So this test expression will have any conditional statement. Okay, so that will return true or false. So and there are two types of looping statement: entry check loop and exit check loop. Okay, So in an entry check loop, the condition is checked whenever the uh, whenever the condition is entered. Okay, starts whenever the loop is starts executing. So next is a exit check loop. So you can see that obviously in the name itself, the looping statement will check the condition at the end of the execution. Okay, so uh, by default the exit check loop executes the loop one time. After that only it will check whether the condition is true or false. But entry check loop is not like that. First of all, it checks the condition. If the condition is true, then only it move to the body of the loop. Next is update expression. So this changes the initial value. So initial value will be there. Then after one execution, it will go and uh, update the initial value and change it as new value. Next is body of the loop. So this is the group of statement that we provide to the that we provide to the statement, or that we provide it to the body of the loop. So this statements which is given inside this part will gets executed repeated again and again till the condition is false. Okay, so when the condition becomes false, then this body of the loop will be stop execution. So next is for loop. So the first loop and the efficient loop that we use in any programming language is for loop. So it is entry controlled loop. Okay, entry check loop. So by seeing that word, you can understand that it checks the condition at the beginning of the execution. Okay, so there are three parts here. Okay, initialization, condition, and update section. Okay, so here you can see that in the syntax itself. So for is a keyword, then you have to open the bracket, and the three section is divided by semicolon. So you can see that initialization, any value that tells you that this is the initial value. So any variable with the initial value. Okay, next is test condition. So this test condition will be any statement that will return true or false. Next is update statement, and you can see that they have created a new open bracket and close bracket. Inside that you can see statement 1, statement 2. Okay, so these two statements is going to be executed again and again, and these are all the body of the loop. The initial part is used to initialization variable, so everything you know here. Okay, so this is the flow chart of for loop. You can see that initial state, then the test expression, true means body of the loop, execution of the body of the loop, and update statement, and go back again. Okay, test. So until the test condition is false, this will keep on executing. So here there is an example. So initially they are creating a variable I, so that contains integer variable. So for I is equal to 0, so I is the initialization part, and I less than 10, it is the condition statement. Okay, so that is the test condition, and update statement is I plus plus. So you can see that for loop is a entry check loop. So first it checks the condition I less than 10. Okay, so 0, I value is 0, so 0 less than 10 condition is true, so it is executing the body of the loop. So here body of the loop is only one statement, value of I. So value of I is printed. So value of I is